Yo, what up, everybody? What's happening? So here I sit. I'm back home, back on the island, loving it. I'm sitting on my spot, and yeah, here's the spot. Found this little secluded place over on Brenneke Beach that I'm the only one that's ever here, and it's awesome. Nobody comes and sits right here. As you can see, there's a road behind me, but people don't ever come chill and hang out right here. It's nice. It's like secluded little space for me. And you might be asking or wondering how in the hell, on a middle of a workday, do I have time and space and capacity to come down here to the beach, hang out, and just watch the sea turtles, watch the water come in, because right here where this bay that I'm at, there are like hundreds and hundreds of sea turtles. It's actually really cool. But you might be wondering, how do I do that in the middle of the day? And for a lot of years, I would have had a lot of guilt and shame around even having the desire to do this. I've lived in Hawaii now for 2 years, and I come down here all the time. And what I can tell you right now is I had a conversation with one of my clients today. Same scenario, right? This is Monday. It's Monday, right? I'm setting up my week. I set up my week yesterday. I always do it on Sunday. I set my week up for what I want to do for the week. And there was really two critical things that have to happen this week. There's other moving parts, and I have other team members that have some things they have to get done. But there's really two critical things that have to happen this week, which are going to happen later on in the week, right? They're going to have one will happen Wednesday, and the second will happen Thursday, which will allow us to do what we need to do on Friday to actually launch what it is that we are building right now. And so inside of this, what I realized is I could fill my day up with a bunch of stupid little tasks. I could, right? There's a story that you've all believed to be true, which is the very story that's just keeping you trapped and stuck. And it's this story that you've got to grind 16 hours a day and never sleep and have all that's a real thing. And all over the internet, there's entrepreneurs who are selling this. They're selling this to you. They're saying, hey, this is what you have to do. You've got to grind, you got to push, you got to work, you're going to be up before everybody else, and you got to work until everybody else is asleep. You got to be the first one to the gym and the last one to leave. And depending on the context, to some extent, there is some validity behind it. But where there is no validity is in that most of the things you are doing with all of those grinding hours of 16-hour days, 7 days a week, about 12 of those 16 hours doesn't need to happen. It's an actual waste of time. But you're doing it because you think you have to. I did this for years because that was the story I believed. That for me to be able to go in the middle of my day and come and spend an hour or two down at the beach was a bad idea. What I didn't realize is that my thinking time about the decisions and the things I need to do, those are the most critical tasks I can possibly do. But I was filling my day up with so many little tasks, so many little things that made me feel busy that I never actually was having any thinking time to hit the critical focus and to actually go after the things I need to go on. So the only thing that shifted, you could watch me, and there'd be, if you watched me, if you like followed me around with a camera, you'd look at me and be like, I don't get it. The dude, his life looks pretty relaxing. It looks like he has a lot. Wait a second, because it looks like he has free time, casual time to just kind of hang out, right? You wouldn't see me bustling around. You wouldn't see me doing all sorts of crazy stuff. You don't see me moving at the speed of sound, right? The things I do with intensity, but I choose very strategic on what those things are. I'm not just going to do something because I have time to do it. If it doesn't make sense for the vision that I have created for my life, then I'm not going to do it. If it doesn't meet the guidelines and the criteria that I know, and how would I know that? Well, I have to spend time thinking about it. So I've been sitting down here at the beach, me and God, just hanging out in his beautiful earth that he built for us. And I'm just thinking. I'm just brainstorming in my head. I'm letting thoughts come. I'm thinking about this idea or that idea. The most critical moves I have ever made in business have come down to the moments that I'm sitting like I am right now with no agenda, and I allow myself the space to think, to just be here, to be present. And this is where you screw it up, because you think there's something wrong with this, right? You think that in order for you to achieve the true life that you want, you got to just put in more time. You got to put in more work. Now, do you have to have a work ethic? For sure. For sure. And what's so funny is I have a casual way of looking at life, but I can promise you I'll outwork almost everybody I know. All right, when the focus comes and the thing that I need to go after it needs to happen, it's going to happen, and I'm going to do it. I'll work 48 hours straight. I'll work 72 hours straight. I don't care. I've done it many a times. Right. So when the thing is there and that's what needs, that's for what's required. See that a lot of you guys miss that too, right? You got to do what's required. But if we talk about it just on strategic strikes and making sure that the things you do each day are the things you should be doing, that they're the things that need to happen. I want you to take an assessment of your game today. I want you to take assessment of your day. Look at your world. Look at you. What did you do today? How many of those tasks were just busy tasks? How many of those tasks were tasks that you need to have your team members be doing, that you need to hire someone to do, that you need to talk to someone else on the team to do, that you maybe didn't need to do today, that in fact, if you hadn't done that today and you'd spent more thinking time, that come tomorrow, you would actually execute the things you needed to do, which would have made the things you're doing today obsolete, right? It's not about creating another spreadsheet. It's not about creating another diagram. It's not about trying to map something out another way, and just to do it for the sake of doing it. It's a matter of giving yourself the space and clarity. So if you don't have any thinking time, what's going on there? What's going on there? One of my clients this morning, it was literally the conversation. He's like, it's crazy. It's his statement. I loved it. But he's like, it's so crazy to me that I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours thinking through a 30-minute meeting. And then in the past, would have been a dumb idea. I never would have seen myself doing it. But now I see it as the most critical part of it. Right? He's talking about he's basically talking about a 30-minute meeting that's casting vision for his leaders and his organization for 2025, which couldn't be more critical. But you can't just throw that together. There has to be thinking time. So if you're filling up all your time, which is busy work, because you want to feel busy, because you believe some stupid story that you were told by somebody, that means you got to be busy, and whoever's the busiest is the winner. I'm here to tell you right now, usually the most busy people are the least successful. They just are. Like somebody says to me, "Oh, I don't have time. I'm so busy. I'm doing this, that, the other." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you're still in the hustle phase. You've yet to reach abundance. You're still fighting out of scarcity. That's what you're doing, which is fine. We all have our path. We all have our journey. But I want you to take a look at your world right now, and where do you need to cut some stuff out that you're putting in there just because you have time, just because you created this space and you want to feel busy, and where do you need to take those things out and actually just use that time to think?" There's a novel thought. Just think. Just decide, what should I be doing? Don't just do it because it's in front of you, but what should you be doing? And then do something about it. What's one thing you can do about it today? So that's all I got for you. Also, all I got for you today as I sit here on the beach, I'm going to continue communing with God and doing some thinking, strategically planning with me, God, and the beautiful ocean here. That's all I got. It's your boy, Trevor White. I'm out.